Well, thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. This speech definitely was given in the vernal part of the year. Tatiana had a difficult assignment, actually, out of an advanced manual, which is the manual of the entertaining speaker. And this particular speech is resources for entertainment, where the speaker is to entertain the audience through the use of entertaining stories or anecdotes, and the speaker is expected to draw material from sources other than personal experience and adapt it to her own speaking style. The speech should have a central theme or message and is supported by the use of entertaining stories, anecdotes, or quotations. So as I listened to this speech and everything that Tatiana said through the speech until she got through, she definitely met the requirements of the speech. Some things I particularly liked. At the beginning, she had to set some things up. And you notice she got up here and did not say a word. She set things up before she said anything. And that's the way it goes in a speech contest, because that first word you say, the timer starts. So she could have stayed up here for 15 minutes rearranging furniture, and the timer would not have started. And I just bring that out because it's important to know that that doesn't count toward your speech. But the minute you say, Mr. Toastmaster, you're on. So good job with doing that properly. Now, you took a story that most of us may have recognized, because I've heard this particular story making the rounds in several different forms over the last several months. So I'm scratching my head, and I'm looking at the manual, and it says, this is supposed to be something about her. It's supposed to be something else, and it is something else, but she's talking about it like it's her. What's going on here? And later she did explain that. But before we ever got to that point in the speech, she also used another technique that we've learned to do through some of the really good evaluators in our area, and that is to use the entire stage as a speaking platform. She was over here talking about one thing, she was over here talking about another, she had a chair, she used her cellular phone to make funny noises so that it added to her speech. And that way, it was a little distracting perhaps. At times you were trying to get it at the right place and you're trying to talk at the same time, and that was a little distracting. But overall, I think it added to your speech. Your word pictures were excellent. And overall, a great story that you told. Now, how could you have improved this? Well, first of all, we're scratching our heads because eventually we figured out this really isn't you. It's not your story. And then you did say you were taking it and applying it to yourself. I think perhaps a different way of doing that would be earlier on to let people know it's not your story, and simply say, let me explain something that happened to a friend of mine. And then you can say, she was over here and did this, and then she sat down next to this guy. Rather than being you, use the third person she, and it wouldn't have been an issue at all. But that's a minor thing. Overall, great job. I look forward to the next speech.